Hello and welcome to Working with What You Got. I'm your host, Renee Joshua Porter, and I am so glad that you decided to join us. Remember, our show is all about you realizing that you have more than you think you have. You have more time, you have more talent, you have more resources, you have more faith, you have more people on your side, and it is time to unknot your mind. Well, we're going to start our show like we do every single week, and we're going to cook. Now, you might say, what are we going to cook? Well, I have a dear friend. Her name is Sharon Wilson, and she is not only gorgeous and a wonderful entrepreneur, but she is the hostess of the mostest, and she knows how to make simple look exquisite. And Sharon hit me with this really good shrimp cilantro salad. So I'm going to do Sharon's salad, but you know I got to add my little nay flay onto it, right? I have to put my little flair on the Sharon salad. So we're going to start off with the dressing. So what I've done is I took a bunch of cilantro, I put in our food processor, I put in 2 cloves of garlic, and now I'm just going to add the rest. I'm going to put in here about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. I'm going to squeeze 2 limes. This salad is so easy. Now remember, you can put your own variations into it, but the show is working what you got, so we're going to keep it simple. All right, a bunch of cilantro, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 limes. Cover. Oh, let me tell you what I want to introduce to you this week. How often do you pick up dates when you're in the grocery aisle? You don't. You don't pick up dates. Dates, I thought about it. Dates is like the cousin of raisins that doesn't get any props. Like raisins is the star. Raisins is the one that's like size 6, has the size 7 feet, real petite, can look good in anything. And then here is dates who may have size 11 feet, you know, may have maybe a little junk in the trunk, but still cute, but don't really get the same props because they're a little plumper. But you know what? Today I am highlighting dates. I kind of relate to dates. So I just wanted to sneak dates into our recipe so that you can start thinking, you know what? Maybe I won't pick up raisins. Maybe I'll give dates a little play. So I took some dates and I'm putting them in here. They add a nice little sweetness. And I just puree. A special thank you to my mom. I had a real disaster. You know, my house is the test kitchen, right? My blender shattered everywhere when I was making this today. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, Ma! And my mother went out. She is just the bombdiggity.com, Mama Dolly, and she went and got me a little food processor. So that's our dressing. What's inside of our salad? Very simple. Already pre-cooked shrimps, and I kept the tails on. Put a few shrimps in there. Then I said, okay, what else can we put? Now, Sharon just had shrimps, but you know, we have to eat the rainbow. I keep telling you that. You have to eat the rainbow. The more colors, the more fruits, the more produce that you have in your meal, you're getting a more rounded, well, nutrient-dense meal. So we have shrimps. And then what we're going to use, we're going to take a spoon. This is equal to 2 tablespoons of chopped mango. And this isn't really mango season, but that doesn't mean that you can't eat mangoes. They're more tart this time of year, but it'll work. So we have your shrimps, you have your mango, and now we put in some red and yellow green peppers. That's it. Now what we're going to do, now I never used this before, so I may not be as flawless as I'd like to be. All right, take that out. I might have to call Ma for help. All right, here we go. Put our dressing in there. And we're just going to stir it up. Now, can you see that? Can we get this on the camera, Annie? Can they see it? Is that pretty? That baby is pretty. And purty. Oh, purty little baby. Look at that. Look at here. Look at here. Just putting a little bit of sea salt. Nothing's coming out. Okay, recap. Shrimps or shrimps, mango, cilantro, a little bit of olive oil, sea salt, red pepper, and yellow peppers. And Jerry, our wonderful cameraman, who's also a host on Madhouse TV, is going to be our tester. But I got to plate it for you, Jerry. I got to make it look nice. I got to make it look nice for you, Jerry. It got to look nice. Jerry, you're not allergic to seafood, right?
Nope.
All right.
Seafood and I eat it.
Okay. Ba-da-bop.
All right.
All right, here we go. Tell me what you think. You would have been a good vaudeville actor. What do you... Jerry, what do you think?
Good.
Do you like it?
No, I just want to swallow it all. Yes,
No, what do you
delicious.
think? Is it too tart? Now, can you taste the dates in there?
I know. Now I can taste the dates. I want to ask one out.
Oh, gosh. You and these jokes.
Very good.
You like it?
I do.
Is it a nice balance?
It's a great balance. It's a great balance.
It's a great balance? Okay. Well, Jerry approves. All right. I'm going to make another salad. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. Well, I wanted to do another version because guess what? There are a lot of people that have shellfish allergies. So I started thinking, what could we use? What could we use? When in doubt, mushrooms. Mushrooms. I use regular mushrooms. They're already pre-sliced, and all I did was marinate them beforehand in a little bit of Bragg's apple cider vinegar. Because sometimes, mushrooms just need a little help. Sometimes when they're just raw, they just need a little bit. And we don't want to cook them, so we just marinate them a little bit in here. One thing I want to do, though, I want to pour off some of the, no, let's leave it. If it's too much, it's too much. No, I will. I'll pour some in here inside of the salad. I just wanted to pour off a little bit of apple cider vinegar. All right. So I'm going to pour in the dressing that we had. Put another bit of dates in here for crunch. See, now we're using dates two ways. Not only is it in the dressing, but we're putting it in for crunch. I'm going to put in the rest of the red and yellow peppers. And then remember, I introduced this to you a couple months back, my new best friend. That's not only good for roasting on an open fire, chestnuts. You ignore them. Chestnuts are very nutrient dense. They are so good for you, and they are so meaty. Oh my gosh, Paulie's going to be my taster. He scares me. Paulie scares me. Oh gosh. Because not only is he brutally candid, he used to be a chef. So you know I'm scared when they tell me Paulie's coming.
This is going to be good.
All right, so Paulie,
Okay.
let me just tell you what's in it. Oh gosh.
It looks good.
Let me tell you.
It smells good.
You scared me.
Smell is the whole thing. If it smells good, it's going to taste good. Two taste buds work coincide.
It does. But I know you, man. You just you're going to tell me as it is. But you know what? Bring it. I can take it.
Mangoes? Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
sorry. Did the microphone.
Ah,
Okay. All right. So you don't like mangoes?
love mangoes.
Oh, you do? These are tart mangoes. They're not really
That's
sweet.
All right, that's all right.
All right. So what I did was, I don't know if you saw the first salad. That was with the first, put it on the camera so we can see it on the camera. Okay. All right. The first one, Paulie, come in close.
Yeah, baby.
The first salad we did with shrimp. So this is the vegan version for people who may have a shellfish allergy. So I'll tell you what's in it. In there are the mushrooms, the mangoes, chestnuts,
Nice.
dates, red and green peppers. And the dressing is cilantro, olive oil, a little date chopped up in there just for sweetness. I'm just a little nervous it might be a little too acidic only because I had it marinating in the Bragg's. But you know what? Let's try
That
it.
should be all right.
It should be okay?
Yeah, we should be all right.
All right. If you say so, because you the man.
I'll tell you, as soon as I taste that bad boy,
All right.
I'm fat and I'm happy.
Tell them about your show, Paulie. You know, Paulie's a host too. And he has a
Yeah,
huge following.
It's me and Annie. We have the Paul and Annie show here on Madhouse. We just twist the normal day-to-day life, and we have a lot of fun. Not as much fun as this.
They have a lot of
to
fun,
eat.
and they have a huge following. They do. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Dun,
Okay.
dun,
I'm
dun.
down with this. I love mushrooms.
You do?
Ah,
Okay, that's a
all right.
plus.
Perfect.
You like it?
Yes.
He likes it. He likes it.
Dead on.
Dead on.
This is the way to go.
You digging it?
Yep.
All right.
Good. I love the peppers.
Mm-hmm.
They give a little bit. The mangoes give them just enough kick. And everything is just cooking.
Oh,
It's just cooking solid.
oh
It's
man.
got, you got every taste happening in your mouth. You don't know which way to go with it.
All right. I feel good today. All right.
This is solid. I need the address because I got a lot of fat friends. And I'll just tell them that it's a diet. They'll love it.
And you know what? Let me tell you, he tells it just like it is. So I know that if he likes it, I feel good.
I love it.
Oh,
I don't
excellent.
have to work.
Oh.
I was hungry. Came right at the right time. Forgive me for talking with my mouth full. But the dates are the best. I like dates. I like raisins.
Wow.
Anything that's going to put sweetness.
And the sweetness in it, exactly.
And when anything you make, if you're making it tart, you have to have the sweetness
To balance
to
it.
counterbalance. A lot of people will make it either all sweet
Mm-hmm.
or all tart. You got to have the combination of the two. The smell is correct. The taste is correct. You get the two together, you're going to love whatever you're eating.
There you go. And that's from the pro. There you go. And we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
This is out of sight.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn?
Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act One will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure.
You'll be happy you did.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists, that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Hi, we are back. I'm your host, Renee Joshua Porter, and you have tuned in to Working with What You Got. Now, you thought we were cooking before. It's all the way live now. We are popping because we have the wonderful, multi-talented triple threat. He's just a man on a mission. A dear, dear young man to me. His name is Jamel Hudson, and he's joining us today. Thank you for coming, Jamel.
Thank you for having me here today, Miss Renee. I'm truly grateful to have the opportunity to speak to you on this broadcast.
Oh, God. That was very well rehearsed. That was very good. Now, I've known Jamel forever and ever and ever. Jamel, tell the audience about yourself. Who are you? Who is Jamel Hudson?
Well, in a nutshell,
In a nutshell.
as you stated, I'm Jamel Hudson. I entertain wherever I have the opportunity to perform and use my gifts and talents to empower people, whether it's on stage, in the classroom, in day-to-day conversation.
Okay. So tell us the name of, I know you have a tour. So tell us the name of that tour, how people can get in contact with you, and what's the mission of the tour?
The title of the tour, of the program that I present, is Taking Down Bullying. You can go to my website, jamelhudson.com.
Okay.
And what I do is I travel to schools throughout the tri-state area, empowering young people to use their gifts and their talents to combat bullying in their school, in their environments, and in their communities.
Jamel, you ever been a bully?
I've been a bully, I've been a victim, and I've been a bystander. I played all three roles in the bullying triangle. And I think that gives me a unique perspective that I can honestly speak to young people who are being aggressors and say, I've been in your shoes. I've been in the victim's shoes and I've been in the bystander's shoes.
Okay, so let me ask you, what do you think, in your experience, what propels the bully? You know, what's really behind the bully? You know, what do you think is that thing that causes people to become a bully?
Well, what I've seen and noticed is people tend to use these bullying behaviors because they might notice a gift and talent in the person that they're bullying. They might try to strip that person's confidence. And what I try to tell young people is to realize the gifts and talents they have. You don't need to be envious or jealous of what your peers are doing because you're special. There's things that you can do that no one else can do.
That's right.
So you don't need to try to break someone else down. Instead, you should be looking to empower yourself and empower the people you encounter every day.
Okay, now, Jamel, I happen to know that you have wonderful parents.
Beautiful parents.
You really do. You have wonderful parents. Your parents are educators.
Very much so.
And they're very vested in you and your siblings, right?
Very much.
I mean, that's without a doubt. What about that kid out there that we're saying, okay, empower yourself, you can do great, you know, God made you with a gift, you're special. Suppose they don't have that type of reinforcement. Suppose they don't have that type of support system. Where do they start? Give us a baby step that they can do.
All children have to go to school.
Right.
And there are teachers, there are guidance counselors, there are different authoritative roles in that school where a young person can turn to and find comfort and can really begin to dive into themselves and identify what they're good at, what their flaws are, what they can really excel in. The school environment is a perfect place for children to either progress and grow, or they might become stagnant and not really look to better themselves. So I think they should take the initiative to really try to better themselves right in school and in daily life.
Right. Master right where they're at.
Right where you are. You're
That's
just
right.
working with what you have.
Now, come on.
Working with what you got. Like, say it like it is.
Come on, use the slogan.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's a movement. It really is a movement.
That's right.
Now, what are some of the things that you had to overcome for Jamel? I mean, to get to where you are right now. How old are you, Jamel?
19 years old.
19. I mean, 19 just in years, but you're far older in wisdom. You really are. And I'm not just blowing smoke
Well,
up your
bless
butt.
you. Well, bless you.
But it's true. But let me just ask you, it was a journey.
Very much.
It was a journey.
Very much.
So what are some of the things, if you don't mind sharing, that you feel that you had to overcome? What are some of the, because one of the themes for the show is, it's time to unknot your mind, N-O-T. So what are some of the knots that you had to take out of Jamel's mind?
Well, the age of my life where I can really look back in hindsight and say that I was at the highest point of being a bully or an aggressor was in that middle school, high school era.
Okay.
And it was during this time period where not only was I a bully, but I was also a victim of bullying. I'm on the wrestling team. And as a wrestler excelling on the mat, some young men began to kind of criticize me for taking ballet classes and doing theater. So I had to make the decision in my mind to say, regardless of what anyone else says or what they might think about me, I have to be so secure in myself and excel in the things that I want to do. So I'm a young man who does ballet. Doesn't mean I can't beat you up on the wrestling mat. Doesn't mean I can't excel in the classroom. I can't excel in any avenue of life that I try to explore.
Right.
So I had to really build my self-confidence and reassurance in me so that regardless of the area of study I try to excel in, I know I can do it because I believe in myself.
That's a really excellent point. That's an excellent point because I've heard that before dealing with a lot of different students that are into the performing arts, you know, male students in particular, and a lot of times they said they experience a lot of ridicule if they take ballet or they're into theater, and all of a sudden you get stereotyped, and sometimes they haven't pursued their gift for fear of the repercussions. And some of the repercussions they've experienced has been from their own family members, and that's been very hard. So that's a major obstacle.
One of the things I try to instill in young people is to find their gift or their talent.
Right.
You don't know what that gift or talent is. So you have to explore. You have to educate yourself. You have to tap into things that you normally wouldn't do.
Right.
You may not necessarily have knowledge of that subject, but you have to go try it. You have to say, well, listen, let me try it. I might actually enjoy this.
That's beautiful. That's why we cook at the beginning of our show.
Well, go ahead then. You got to explore people to different foods. I would never try what you made this
Right.
earlier today.
And
but
that's really what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And it's all connected, right?
That's right.
Because if I could start exploring different foods, then I start looking at different films. I start looking at
different cultures.
That's right.
You're educated. You don't make
right.
negative stereotypes, or you're not so inclined to make a thought about a person. You're educated and you know them, or you might have a better knowledge of where they're coming from.
So let me ask you, Jamel, what are some of the things that you hear some of the kids say when you do your assemblies and you travel in the school? What's some of the feedback that you get?
I have to say I do enjoy working with the student body. Students and young people are the most honest people you're going to meet. And when I say that, I mean, if you're not on point and you don't captivate their attention, they're going to be like, man, this dude need to get out of my way, man. I don't know what he's doing here. So immediately I have to grab the attention of my audience. I mean,
Right.
a lot of time teachers come and they want to lecture and speak. I have to give my message to young people in a manner that they can receive it. I use music. I use entertainment so that it's not just me speaking to them, but they can actually relate to a young man who's not much older than them with a message of empowerment, a message of respect, education, acceptance, and leadership.
Anybody share their stories with you? You have any students that tell you?
I've had presentations where young people have come up to me in tears, crying, thanking me, saying, I was a victim of bullying, or I was a bully, and your message has really motivated me to no longer subject myself to this bullying cycle.
Wow. Now, where are you in your faith, Jamel? Where does faith come into all of this for you?
This is really my ministry.
Okay.
I've heard a preacher tell me one time, wherever you stand is your pulpit.
That's right.
And I use this opportunity to not necessarily speak Christ, but to have Christ-like actions and to do what Christ did. He just came to people, not with religion,
Right.
but with relations. Hey, man, that's Jesus, man. That's a cool cat, man. He's just coming to let you know the truth.
And he also drinks wine.
And he turned water to wine, man. That's a bad dude. That boy Jesus is bad. So I just come to speak to the young people, not necessarily trying to condemn them for maybe the actions they partake in, but saying, listen, this is what we're doing. We can make a better world for ourselves in the place that we live.
That's beautiful. Hold that thought, and we're going to be right back. They're trying to tell me commercial, 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 and you're going to get to see this wonderful young man perform. Stay tuned.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! It's like you guys, I don't. Power.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power. It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power. Oh, Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power.
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to Working with What You've Got. My name is Jamel Hudson. Before I begin my performance for you all, I want to thank Madhouse TV. I want to thank Miss Renee Porter. I want to thank my father. I want to thank everyone here at Madhouse TV for allowing us to have the show here. As I said a little earlier in the conversation with Miss Renee, I travel and speak to young people throughout the tri-state area about the problem of bullying and how it impacts thousands of young people. I truly believe it is our responsibility to put a halt to bullying in our schools, in our communities, and in everyday life. I think that if we take the initiative to respect ourselves, to educate ourselves, to accept everyone and become strong leaders, we can truly put a halt to bullying and the impact it's having on so many young people. Young people are unfortunately hurting themselves and hurting others because of this constant abuse. And this abuse has to stop. Now, I have a song that I want to sing for you all. And this song is entitled No More. No more will we stand back and allow bullying to take place. No more will we allow this victimization to continue. No more will we allow it to impact our young people. I've got my head in this pillow, thinking about all the trouble that I've just been through. Does anybody see my pain? Does anybody know my name? I cried, I cried, I cried. So many sleepless nights, battles can't fight, wars that's lost, my confidence tossed out the window. But no more will I stand for this. No more will I take these hits. No more can you hold me down. No more will I wear this crown. This has to stop. This can't go on no more. I'm an eagle and I'm ready to soar. This is a new me, a new identity. Now you can't bully me, no. This can't go on no more. Cause I'm an eagle and I'm ready to soar. This is a new me, a new identity. Now you can't bully me, no. Your words can't hurt me at all, even if they're posted on my wall. My confidence is building, I'm like a strong building, a skyscraper, eyes on the prize major. Listen, because there's greatness in me, only the skies can hold you back. My future looks greater, I'm deeply secure with who I am, oh. But no more will I stand for this. No more will I take these hits. No more can you hold me down. No more will I wear this crown. This has to stop. This can't go on no more. I'm an eagle and I'm ready to soar. This is a new me, a new identity. Now you can't bully me, no. This can't go on no more. Cause I'm an eagle and I'm ready to soar. This is a new me, a new identity. Now you can't bully me, no. I say N-O-B-U-L-L-Y, no. N-O-B-U-L-L-Y, no. N-O-B-U-L-L-Y, no. Wait a minute, listen. Listen.
I stand tall.
I have a voice.
I am unique.
I will succeed.
I have a purpose.
I am valuable. I love and respect myself.
I choose to live.
I choose to live.
I choose to live.
This has to stop. This can't go on no more. Can't go on. I'm an eagle and I'm ready to soar. This is a new me, a new identity. A new This can't go on no more. Can't go on. I'm an eagle and I'm ready to soar. This is a new me, a new identity. Put your hands together. Let me hear you say N-O-B-U-L-L-Y, no. O-B-U-L-L-Y, no. N-O-B-U-L-L-Y, no. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Guys, ready for the show? Yeah. Enjoy.
Hi, we are back. You have tuned in to Working with What You Got. I'm your host, Renee Joshua Porter, and if you just tuned in, you missed a phenomenal performance by this multi-talented young man, Jamel Hudson. Jamel, thank you so much. And that was only a little smidgen. He just gave you like a little appetizer. He gave you like one buffalo wing. That's it. That's it. Oh, Jamel, you got to come back and do more. But let me just ask you a couple of things. Well, first, let me not forget. Jamel has a concert coming up. Please tell the audience about your concert.
On October 24th, that's a Friday night, 8 p.m., I am doing my own concert at Stony Brook University. The title of the concert is Keeping It Real. It's an acronym that I use in my daily life that helps me empower myself. The acronym REAL stands for respect, education, acceptance, and leadership. I want everyone who comes to the show on Friday night to leave empowered, leave knowing that they can use their gifts and talents to keep it real wherever they go.
Excellent, excellent. So what time on Friday?
8 p.m. Admission is free. Admission is free. You can bring everyone you want. The admission is free.
Okay, and where at Stony Brook?
The Charles Wang Theater, I believe. Charles Wang Theater at Stony Brook University.
Charles Wang Theater, 8 p.m., Stony Brook University, October 24th. All right, be there or be square. Keeping it real. Okay, Jamel, let me ask you something. Do you think the bullying takes place on the college level?
Oh, very much. What bullying is, by definition, is an imbalance of power.
Okay.
And that takes place, it can take place wherever there's human relation. It can take place in college. It can take place in the work environment when people are mistreating others and not giving them the respect that they want. It can take place anywhere. And that's why we have an initiative and an obligation to put a halt to it.
Okay, now let me ask you this. So many times I've seen where people feel if I'm not doing it, then I'm not guilty. And then another thing I've heard plenty times is, I don't want to be a snitch.
That's right.
You know, I hear that a lot. I don't want to be a snitch. But please break it down for us how silent standby is actually permission. It's actually adding to the equation.
There's something that the Long Island Railroad uses.
Okay. If you see
something,
say something. That's right. I use it in my house.
If you see something, say something. And too often our young people feel, as the word you use, snitch. I don't want to tell. But you're not being a snitch. You're being a responsible, mature young person who's not allowing if that person who's being victimized is your friend, you're not allowing that peer, that classmate, that human being to be hurt if you have an opportunity to do something about it.
Okay, now let me ask you this, Jamel. You know, that's easy for us to say.
That's right,
because
that's right.
we're on this side of
That's
it.
right.
But what about now? You have a lot of cyberbullying taking place.
Correct.
So it's like, okay, I may not be able to get you back because you told on me by confronting you because I don't want to get suspended and having a fight. But you know what? I can post something nasty about you on Facebook or on Instagram. Or then what do you do then?
It's very interesting you say that because not too long ago, there was a law that has been passed in New York State that makes cyberbullying a crime.
Right.
So there are young people who think there are no consequences or repercussions when they use the internet, but that's not true. You can get in some serious criminal trouble if you're not careful of how you're using the internet. So that avenue of bullying can lead to very serious consequences to young people. So I really suggest that young people monitor their usage of the internet.
Monitor. Very, very, very well said. And you know what I've found? I've even heard some young people say, well, we use it to vent. But if the venting is at the expense of slandering somebody else, like you said, it could be a crime.
If you need to use the internet to vent, then maybe you need to find another outlet.
Another outlet.
Pick up the guitar or play the piano or write a song or something. Don't use the internet as your go tap that. Play the harmonica. You understand? Don't use that. Yeah, do ballet. Go wrestle. Don't use the internet as that outlet. You have that much energy built up. Use it in a positive manner to build yourself up and to build someone else up, as opposed to breaking someone else down.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Just you're not a parent that I know of.
Glory. Thank you, Lord. You've been so good. Yes.
Okay, but we've been talking a lot about the students. Tell a parent something that they can look for if they need to know if their child is being bullied. Because sometimes the child is afraid to say something.
They don't want to tell their parents.
Right.
That's
so
right.
what's a signal that they can maybe look for?
Well, one thing I always tell parents is you have to be so involved in your child's daily activities. A lot of times, in particular with this generation, parents want to play more the role of a friend than a parent.
Right.
They want to be, they want to be so close and intimate with their child where that level of respect as a parent is somewhat forgotten. So that parent has to let the child know, listen, I'm going to monitor how you use the internet. When you come home from school, I want you to tell me, how was your day? What took place today? It's not intrusive when you're paying the bills. It's not intrusive when you putting clothes on their back and food on the table. So it's important that the parent is constantly involved in that young person's life, asking what's going on and really having a strong care of making sure their child is going to school and coming home safe and sound.
And one thing I could just say for myself, and I learned this actually from my parents, I believe in scanning. I just scan. I like to I look at you long enough.
You can read.
I'm scanning.
You know your children. You know your children better than anybody else.
And I think that is so important. You said a wonderful word. You have to be involved. You have to have a connection. Because even though, like, for instance, I have one of my children, right, usually the one that's in the studio with me, you ask them or her, what's the matter? It's always nothing. Right?
That's right.
But I just ask long enough, and I'll ask it over and over and over again until the damn breaks. Right?
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Yeah.
Nothing. What's the matter? Nothing. What'd you say was the matter? Nothing. What's the matter? Okay.
That's right. That's right.
And so I just think that what you said was so important. Relationship. You have to stay so connected that you create a trust field.
That's right.
That they feel they want to talk to you. They want to talk to you, and they feel safe in that. So that's a really, really good point. So, okay, Jamel, look at our camera, look at our audience, and tell somebody out there, some young person out there, maybe not even that young, tell somebody out there that's still struggling with feeling like, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what my talents are. She's prettier than me. He's stronger than me. Their parents seem to be richer than mine. So, all that stuff, all that low self-esteem stuff. Look in that camera and talk to them. Talk to the diamond inside of all that dirt.
Well, if I had to speak to a particular young person, I'd let them know from the outstart that they are unique. That young person is so special and has attributes inside of them that makes them totally different from everyone else. And instead of developing a mentality of thinking of what you don't have, the knots in your mind, be appreciative for what you do have. Be thankful that you're here. Be thankful that you have the ability to see another day. And while you're on this earth and while you're maneuvering through life, use every opportunity you can to better yourself. When you're going to school or when you're encountering people, use that as an opportunity to enrich yourself, to empower yourself. If you don't know what you're good at yet, that's all right. You've got time. You're young. Explore. Find different outlets where you can channel this energy in a positive manner. If you're not too sure where you want to go or what you aspire to do, ask. Ask a parent, ask a teacher, ask a guardian, ask a minister, whoever's in that authoritative role in your life. Ask for guidance. When you ask for guidance, then you can receive it and you can begin to move in the right direction. And I want all young people who hear my message to feel empowered, to feel that they have a purpose in this world, a purpose that no one else has, that they're special, that they're unique, and that they're going to succeed.
Thank you, Jamel. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know, before we close, I always like to end with a story. So I was thinking, okay, what to share? And I wanted to speak about a situation that had happened back in 2005. It was about 5 to 5 a.m. And I had just come from dropping my husband off at the Long Island Railroad, and I had a center, a recreation center, about 7 minutes from my home. And there had been a series of burglaries in the plaza where my center was. So after I dropped my husband to the Long Island Railroad so he can go to work for the 5 o'clock train, I decided to just pass by the center. I just wanted to peek at it because I was kind of nervous about the different burglaries that were taking place. Well, as I was driving to the center, I had a Grand Cherokee, a Jeep. Somehow I must have hit a crater. I did hit a crater in the middle of the road. And my Jeep flipped. It flipped from one side of the street to the other. I just remember holding on to the wheel, and the car kept flipping, and the car kept flipping, and I kept saying, oh my God, it's flipping. The car is flipping, and I'm being tossed around inside the vehicle, and then it stopped, and it landed back on its wheels. The windshield was crashed in, everything was crashed in, and smoke was coming from the front. And I remember thinking, it's gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up. And I was trying hard to get out of the car. Now remember, I told you it was 5 a.m. It was April 5th. And I remember this because it was dark. It was dark at that time. And there was nobody on the street. And I'm trying hard to get out of the car. And I remember thinking to myself, there's no way that God would allow me to die like this. Die on the street with nobody around, in the dark, with just my keys, no identification, half dressed because I just threw something on to go to the Long Island Railroad. This cannot be the end of my chapter. And I remember taking my arm and I elbowed out the driver's side window and I got out. I got out of the window, through the window, I climbed out, my legs were all cut up, and I was trying to flag somebody, but guess what? Nobody was coming on the street. Nobody was coming. And I just stood in the street and I was screaming, somebody help me, help me. And then finally a car came and it pulled over to the side and the guy was looking, I guess he wasn't sure. He didn't realize the car had flipped because it landed back on its, even though it was mangled, it landed back on its tire. And then somebody else finally came by. And then when they came by, they called the ambulance, they called a friend, they took me to the hospital. My legs were cut, but I had no broken bones. You know, I had some stuff with my back, but I was preserved. God preserved my life. And one of the things that I remembered, and as I hear Jamel speak, I think about maybe somebody has dropped you. Maybe you've had an accident. Maybe you've been crashed. Maybe you've been left on a dark road and people don't seem to care about you. Let me tell you something. It's not the end of your chapter. I don't care what you've gone through. You have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that if right now it's not going well, it's not going well because it's not over. Because the end of the book is always success. The end of the book is always an expected end. And you have to know that within yourself. So right now, no matter what's thrown at you, no matter how banged up you are, no matter if it feels like it's about to blow up, let me tell you, the fear that ripped inside of me thinking at 37, I'm going to be dead at the side of the road and like a pauper. No, God has better for me. And you have to know that. Take the knot out of your mind. He has better for you. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Thank you so much for joining. See you next week. I love you.